Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Future is Bilingual podcast. My name is Heather. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different. I don't have a guest or a co-host with me, but I thought it might be a good opportunity to update you a bit on life in Canada and how things have been. So if you're new to the podcast, I did take a hiatus all summer while we were preparing our move and then we were settling in. So we moved from Massachusetts to Quebec, near Ottawa. So we're right on the border with Quebec and Ontario. And I just want to tell you guys a couple things about life in Canada, just that way people don't have to, message and ask. So life has been good. We've got a nice apartment here rather than a big house that we sold in the States. So we've actually agreed that we really like having a smaller place. The kids have started daycare. They had to quarantine for 2 weeks, but now they're in daycare, so that's really great. We are in Quebec, so they're learning French at daycare, and of course, that's been very fun to hear about what they're learning, expressions, hearing them speak more French, and just the whole process of kind of acclimating into this new culture. And there's a couple expressions that I just want to point out that people use in Quebec that were a little bit shocking to me, even though I'm a French speaker. My French was mostly learned in France. So the three that that really stuck out to me, although there's many, many more, but the one I'm hearing the most is "c'est correct," and people say this all the time. As in France, we would say like "ça va," so like it's fine, like don't worry about it, "c'est correct," or like this is I don't know. They just use it all the time. So like I said, "Oh, my daughter's gonna, stay at daycare till 4 o'clock today or something." Okay, c'est correct. Like, yeah, that's fine. I don't know. It's used a lot in Quebec. Another one that's always shocking when I hear it is the bienvenue. And that's after someone says merci, they say bienvenue. And so that wouldn't be said in France. They would say de rien, je vous en prie, je t'en prie, depending. So the you're welcome being translated literally as bienvenue is very strange to me still. And the third one that I really am starting to finally use after a month and a half of being here is bye bye. So at the end of a conversation, nobody really says au revoir. Like even in a bank in a more formal setting, everybody will just like speak in French and then they say, okay, bye bye. So that is weird to me because that's not something I say that often in English anyway. I would say goodbye or something. So trying to use bye bye more in the Quebecois style. Okay. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is my classes, but I'm not going to tell you too much about them. But just in case, I know some people have asked, how are your courses going and things like that. So I am doing a PhD at the University of Ottawa. It's only been a month and a half, so I don't really have too much to explain or talk about. But in case you're curious, it is in the Department of Education, and I'm most interested in studying bilingualism and multilingualism. No surprise. But right now I have to take some basic courses. So the courses that I'm taking right now are, I'll tell you the titles in French, and then I'll tell you what the translations are. So the first one is Enseignement et apprentissage des littératies en langue seconde, which is like teaching and learning literacies in second languages. The next one is La recherche qualitative, which is qualitative research. And the last one is Enjeux épistémologiques et méthodologiques de la recherche en éducation. So that one translates to epistemology and research in education. So it doesn't that's not the literal translation, but that's what they call it because in the University of Ottawa, they have courses in both English and French. So like more literally, the word enjeu is like, what is at stake? What could be lost? Epistemology, I'm kind of still figuring out what this term means. The word I didn't really know before, didn't really hear, didn't use, and it's basically regarding knowledge and how knowledge is known. So like the study of knowledge in general is kind of how I would explain it. So yeah, those are my 3 courses. I had originally signed up for 4 because we're allowed to take 4, but it was too much. So I did drop a course that was looking at teaching French in a minority language setting, so like teaching French in Ottawa. It was really interesting, but I just needed to focus on the 3 courses that I'm doing, and 2 of them are required, and the third one about literacies in second language is with my advisor, and it's very much up my alley, what I want to study and what I want to look at. So that's why I kept that one. So the last thing I want to talk about is languages and how things are going on that front, because that's obviously what you guys are listening to this podcast about. So, as I already mentioned, the kids are learning French, and it's just been really nice to have just lots of input in French, personally for myself, but also to have it for my children, and my husband as well, who's been studying. He's learned French before, and he's picking it up again, doing some Duolingo, which is fun. But yeah, just to hear everybody kind of using their French. So, like, my husband will call and ask, bonjour, parlez-vous anglais? So to ask if people speak English, because again, luckily Canada is bilingual, so he can usually get services in English. The kids have been learning little phrases here and there, and they'll come home and tell me that a certain kid says this, and then they'll have a phrase like "c'est à moi," like "this is mine," or just little things. So it's very cute that they're kind of recognizing these different languages. And I was doing a Duolingo event, and they were listening to me speak Spanish, and then they were saying that they want to speak Spanish or that they are speaking Spanish. So it's just very interesting to have all these different languages in the mix. So as you guys know, if you've listened to the podcast before, or if you follow me, you guys know I'm learning Italian since March. So yeah, it's been 7 months, I guess, and it's going really well. So I've been doing Duolingo events, as I said, mostly in Italian, but also I've done a little in Polish, Spanish, French, just to kind of maintain those because it's fun. I have really enjoyed just meeting people and talking with them. And yeah, I'm on a crazy streak right now where I'm kind of doing one every day. So it's just crazy. But it's also there's a speaking challenge going on for October with the language community on Instagram. So I've been speaking Italian every day, sometimes more than others, but at least just, recording a message for somebody or doing Duolingo or doing one of these events. So that's been very fun and motivating. And I do think my Italian is getting better. I hope. Spero che sì. And I did want to mention 2 Italian words that I've learned recently that don't mean what you think they would mean. So they've stuck out to me for that reason. So the first one is piano, which has a lot of meanings. So it can be a noun, an adjective, an adverb. The adverb is kind of like the French word doucement, which is like slowly, quietly, softly. Like it has that meaning of doing something in a calm manner. The adjective can be like something is flat or even or level. And then the noun has that same idea of like a flat surface, a plane, like in geometry, like a level, something like that. But it can also, the context that I heard it in, piani, is like plans. Like, do you have any plans? So I wasn't expecting the word piani in the plural to mean plans. The second word that surprised me is the word casino. So for most of us, we think casino is a place you go to gamble, to waste your money, do other things. But the word casino can also mean like a mess or a brothel, even. So that was kind of interesting for me when someone said that in context, and I was like, oh, that means that. So apparently you can fare casino. You can also like make noise, or fare un casino is to like make a big deal out of something. So yeah, just some interesting words, piano and casino. And yeah, I don't really have much more to update you guys about. If you do have questions, I'm always available. You can reach out to me on Instagram at The Future is Bilingual. I'd love to hear from you guys. I love getting messages. It's just really nice to have this community. So thank you for listening, and I hope that we will be back with an interview soon, and maybe even an episode with my co-host. You might have seen me post that on Instagram. So things are in the works, but all is well here in Canada. We just had Thanksgiving yesterday. So life is good. And before I end, I almost forgot. The Polyglot Conference is happening starting this week, starting on Friday, I believe. It's kind of hard with the time difference, Thursday, Friday. So for me, I think it starts Thursday night because of the time difference. But yeah, it's going to go on for 10 days. There's going to be so many amazing things happening. I'm going to be doing a panel with Tetsu Young, who was just a guest on the podcast, so you probably heard his interview, and some other amazing people like Rita and Uta. So yes, please come join us at the Polyglot Conference. You can just Google search Polyglot Conference 2021. It is online again. Unfortunately, we cannot get to Mexico just yet, so soon enough. But we would love to see you guys there. There's so many amazing talks happening. Even some of my internet friends like Itai, who was a guest, is giving a talk. My friend Reika is giving a talk. I don't know if my other friend has announced, but another friend that was also a guest is going to be giving a talk. So many amazing things to look forward to. I'm actually worried how I'm going to keep up with my schoolwork because I'm going to be so busy with this Polyglot conference for 10 days. So yes, please come join us, and I hope to see you guys there. And yeah, reach out. Love to hear from you. Have a great week. Bye.